Hello everybody and welcome to Chaotic Neutral Games with our D&D 5th edition campaign, The Benefactor. I'm here with Rodrigo, Kate, Corinne, Felicia and Nick. And we are starting on a bit of a dramatic note. At the end of the last session, we had an explosion go off in Ostergard. And they were called immediately, along with the rest of the Green organisation, to Renata Green's home, where she explained that Duke Edmund Ostermark, ruler of the city, has found out that his son has been abducted. Hello, everybody.
Always forget you're going to do that.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm just impressed you remembered all names this week.
Yeah, I didn't stumble once. It's going to go terrible from here on in.
It's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
A couple of things to tell the audience at home. First of all, half of us are ill, so bear with us. And also, Glory's camera isn't working, which is why we put a picture of Glory in its place. So, I don't think we need much of a lengthy recap from last session.
Stole a cat.
You stole a cat.
Yes, we
You stole a cat.
You told us to steal the cat.
Yeah, it was all your fault, remember?
Yeah.
Remember,
I deny all knowledge of this.
remember, it doesn't matter who started it. You're both guilty.
In the eyes of the law.
It's shameful
In
indeed.
the eyes of the fucking teacher.
Right.
Yeah, where's Rowan?
So, Simon, we've been given our orders yet? The
Not
Duke's son's
quite.
gone.
Yeah, not quite. I'm gonna back up a little bit, and I'll give you the narrative going in, rather than a lengthy recap. Just tell you what's happening and where you are, if that helps. So, you are in the middle of a cacophony. People shouting left and right, but you look around and kind of, I guess you're kind of imagining seeing this scene from above. And you're seeing the clockwork results of a organization that runs off unquestioned obedience. So, in the previous session, you heard Renata and the others refer to you guys as specialists. You're people who are not just the average laborers and other people who are informants and other such workers for Renata within the city. You guys have been singled out for your talents. Hence, you've been going and doing things, leveling and what have you. You do hear what's happening with everybody else. You hear, Division A over here. You're going to be going and defending Renata's holdings. Everybody report defense positions. And at that point, half of the crowd breaks off and that's a dead run down the street. And you're there thinking, did they assign this before we arrived? Or do people already have this kind of assignment that they know that they're a Division A or a Division... That's weird. But then you hear your answer.
We don't have a name yet. We don't even have a name for our group. So this might be the moment we all have need to decide on a name on the spot. It's gonna be
Glory, guys. No. Glory team. Yes.
Awful squad.
awful.
So you hear then, Division B, you're going to be patrolling. Go and see the clerks over in the corner there, and they'll put you into your teams. Team of 6, everybody doubling up. Guards will come and help you as well. So you watch as the rest of the crowd starts running towards this line of clerks, not clerks, and they're forming lines, saying what their name is, and they're just being sent in various directions. And you watch as this crowd just starts being processed. Hecrus turns around to you and says, "Come on, guys, let's go!" And you start to run inside the Green Manor. Inside is a hive of activity. You see more clerks and a lot of people wearing these telltale cloaks that Renata herself wears. a strange marbled type colouring, so going from off-white to dove grey in a kind of swirling marble pattern, fastened at the neck with a green symbol, presumably the same type of communicator that you guys wear. You can see that there's about 30 of them running around, and if they're the same as the ones as you saw at the duel this morning, it would have been last session, they are all cloaked with visibility. As they're dashing up,
Eclipse, if you want to steal one, we can.
I want to, but if we steal our cloak of invisibility, we're probably going to be kicked out of the organization. So let's not.
I've still got this down as session 15. This is session 16 for anybody who's counting. I'll correct that now. A small gnomish guy runs up and goes, have you got everything you need? Do you need weapons, armor, anything else?
Spells, power. I think poor Firewell here. Did you recover your strength?
What we could really use is some potions, because I think we've got all the healing potions.
Okay, so any of you who don't have your brace of 3 regular healing potions on you, you get directed to somebody who's just handing out these very similar pouches that have a brace of 3 healing potions in them. And so anybody who hasn't got one gets given one. Anyone who chances to try to get a second one gets told flatly no.
I already have my 3. I think I didn't need all 3 because all your 3 got destroyed. they
got shot out by Umbra. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. Aiden, do me a perception check.
Wait a... Oh, okay.
Because you're still in bed.
You're drunk.
That's bad perception, you say. 19.
Okay.
I forgot to do. I forgot how.
Fair enough. Now I want Farewell to do a perception check.
Oh dear.
Where is our dear? So Aiden is in bed.
Yeah. I remember. I got told that. So.
14.
14. Okay. So it's just for my reference. So the gnomish guy grabs you by the hand, Farewell, and says, "You're out of healing, kid."
No, I've still got most of my stuff in there. It was used very poorly once, shall we say, and I avoid everything that's coming my way from a small halfling that saved my life.
I mean, divine power, spells. You're out, right?
Almost, yes.
Okay. Right. Come with me. And he dashes through a crowd, pulling you. He's cutting through the crowd better than you are, so you're kind of pulled behind. He's kind of tugging.
I'm following.
And you cut through the crowd pretty well, Cora. And he finds somebody in one of these cloaks, and he goes up and just prods her in like the leg or the buttock. It's hard to tell with the cloak on. She kind of goes.
I think you should put that.
She turns around and goes, "What?" and goes, "Oh, Colin, what?" And then looks at you and she goes, "What is it?" And he goes, "I'm afraid he's probably going to need to get juiced." And she's like, "Sure. You're the new guys, aren't you?"
Yeah. What's juice?
Yes.
Come with me.
What's juice?
The gnome lets go, and this woman in this cloak, and you notice underneath she's got a strange variant of wizard's robes on, She's beckoning you into the depths of the house, and she walks up to a seemingly innocent oak panel in the wall, and she goes, "Come on, hurry up," and walks through the wall.
Okay. Cora, do you want to get your little friend of ours to follow, and I'll go through, and then I'll slowly start walking towards the panel that she walked through.
Sure.
I'm sending you in through first.
Yep. Are you looking through her eyes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, she can just tell me, I suppose, but
Yeah.
or I mean, if I'll grab her, well, then I'll just look myself.
So so she flies straight at the wall and straight through, complete confidence, and she goes, "Illusion." But you do notice that behind the illusion, there's a hinged panel that looks exactly the same. You have a feeling this illusion's placed there when the door is open, the door's shut. Obviously, it's just the panel. She's safely to the side. There's the woman in the cloak is around about 10 foot in front of you, going down a fairly narrow corridor that you think maybe goes between two different walls. And she kind of stops, looks back, and goes, and starts heading back towards you.
I'm assuming Corey got hold of my arm.
Yeah, well, I got hold of your arm because I was looking through area, and I'm like, it's the corridor. I think we're fine. They're gonna help you, right? Let's go. And I sort of drag.
Okay.
So
You just like ask me to drag. Okay.
Yeah. So I will be
to
dragged.
collide with her because I know she's coming back.
So you head through the illusion, and she goes, "Come on, hurry up! She's going to want you to leave as soon as possible." And you walk along a corridor until she stops, looks down, stamps her foot a couple of times, and you hear this chunk, 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 as sections of the corridor go into stairs leading down. She leads you down the stairs and into what seems to be well, it's not so much a vault, it's more a room where there are several vault doors. So Cora's probably, well, both Cora and Fair will probably have never seen a bank vault door before. You've seen one described to you, and these are every bit a bank vault door. They don't have any kind of big dial or anything like that from Ocean's 11 type films. But they are large, kind of slightly brass looking doors with no perceivable handle or lock. She walks up to one of them, places her hand on the door, and the door starts to hinge open.
Excuse me. Hi. I know that there's a lot going on, but really, shouldn't I be outside helping? And what's used? I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what it is. I don't know what that is, and I don't like the fact that anybody might be juicing me.
We're not juicing you. We're not juicing you. We're giving you. And she looks at you with a sly smile. Juice. And the way she says it makes it really, like conspiratorial and special. And as the vault opens, there's this sudden leap, and this strange-looking, twisted, hairless hound starts snapping and barking. She goes, "Shut up!" And it kind of sits down on the floor. It breathes like a huff of derision, and as it does so, two small flames come out of its nostrils. This is a black hairless dog with bright red eyes. Behind the dog, behind where it's tethered, there's metal frames on the walls, and attached to the metal frames are rows and rows and rows of glowing vials and bottles Some of them larger and more ornate. Some of them a lot smaller, the size of a test tube. She looks at you, and her eyes flash. Farewell, how many spell slots are you down by?
I am down by, he says, looking on his character sheet, 5.
5. Okay. So she rips off. She doesn't even bother with the vials. She goes and takes a slender bottle, and it's quite decorative, and it's kind of like a what would you call it? Like almost like a really fancy bathroom bottle, but made of glass. Like an artisanal glass bottle. And the second one is a more traditional looking bottle, but it's quite clearly got gold edging to it. And by gold edging, I mean it's in this is a glass bottle in a gold frame. She pulls both of them off, walks up to you and says, "Down the hatch, love."
What's in them?
You can see inside. Inside is a glowing, pulsing, light lilac fluid.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's we've hit with full World of Warcraft. It's just a mana potion. I really don't want to do this, and then I'm just going to drink both of them.
Okay. Whichever one you slug down first, the fluid as it hits your mouth, as it hits the back of your mouth, seems to evaporate and it's quite weird by the fact that you can't feel anything going down your throat, even though you've poured, a good, say, 200 mils from the smaller bottle into your mouth. Only Cora can see this, but there seems to be wisps of, I guess you would call it gas, but it's kind of like an energy gas. It moves differently to gas, coming out of the edges of Farewell's mouth. It takes just a second. This is everything I'm telling you now is what you feel in a second as you neck the first bottle. And then, Farewell, you get this wave of warmth and intensity just fly through your body. And you lose around about half a second of experience as you kind of glaze over for a moment. That's what you see. Cora, you see the brightest light you've ever seen blast out of both of Farewell's eyes as his head goes back, so he's looking almost at the sky, and these two bright beams of light just go.
He's regenerating.
I've gone full time Lord.
After the first one, you're kind of like, okay, that's a bit weird, and you can see maybe a look of what the fuck on Cora's face as she watches this really intense moment happen, and you find yourself still holding the other bottle, and the woman in the cloak is going, "Come on, I haven't got all day." You pull the other one off, chuck it down your neck, and suddenly, whoosh! This is the bigger bottle, and you feel just again a wave of energy and imbuement. When you channel divine power, even though it is God-given, it's taxing. This is why you have spell slots as a divine character. It's taxing to take the awesome power of God and push it through your mortal frame. This seems to have kind of increased your bandwidth, and you feel like you could just take it all at once for a second, and then you kind of go, nope, don't want the entire power of God. That would kill me. Once again, these beams of light just erupt from Farewell's eyes momentarily. And I say it's about half a second. It doesn't take very long, but there's this flash. And you can just see Cora. Farewell just looks... It's like the best energy drink ever. He looks awake. He looks
so
focused.
wired.
He's just got complete clarity, and you can see it on his face. The woman walks up, grabs hold of the two bottles, and says, "I collect them," and puts them back into the vault. She then gives the hound, this hairless, it almost looks like a hellhound. She kicks it just lightly in the shoulder and says, "Come on, back in." It goes, gets up and kind of lopes its way back inside. She shuffles some of the chain inside the vault as well, and just touches one of the doors, and the doors start to close with a huge gravity. And as you see it close, there's about 2.5 foot of solid metal for these doors. Yeah.
As soon as the doors close and I just grab her by the shoulders and I go, "How does that work? What is that? Where is it from? What on earth is that? How does it work? 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 How does it work?"
It's like Val had coffee, brew, Red Bull.
She goes,
Red Bull. I'm monster at that rate.
He had
Equal
one
math.
cup. He
What were
had
you gonna
one
say,
cup
Rodrigo?
of Death Wish coffee.
Yeah.
so she laughs and she says, "Your first time at an ether, then?"
Yeah, that's that. Oh, there's a lot of focus right now.
I should think so. You've just drunk 4 years of someone's work. Come on, let's go. And she leads you back up the stairs.
I just stare at Cora, just like.
You freaking glowed, man. Your eyes beamed light.
Well, that can't be healthy.
Sure. You look wired. Let's go.
I feel a little twitchy. I won't lie. Yeah, we gotta go help people, and I think there's a kid in danger. Come on, let's go. And I'm power walking. I'm like, it's not my usual sort of like soft gait. It's a real sort of like, you know, mom at a mall sort of power walk. I'm getting to where I need to be.
Okay. Well, I want you to do me a Constitution saving throw.
Shit.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I should ask, do I get any of my spell slots back?
Oh, you got all of them back.
Oh, fantastic.
Surely that was the point.
Well, that's why I thought as well. You've always got to check these things, right? Constitution saving.
Yeah, you do.
Oh dear. 15.
15. Let me just check here. Okay. Yep. So you have dark vision for the next 24 hours.
Oh dear.
You only
How
notice
far?
Oh dear.
as far as regular vision, so around about 120 foot.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I can see into infinity.
That's one hell of a fucking energy drink. Where did you get that?
So you only notice this when you go up into the dark corridor that's kind of between walls, you know, the secret passage that leads down into the vault antechamber. And you're like, hang on, wasn't this dark? Where's that light coming from? And you realise, I can see in the dark.
Why is everything black and white? Why is everything black and white?
What?
So,
It's dark. Why? Come on.
and it's not black and white, it's bright, vivid colour.
Oh,
It's
Is it
perfect dark vision for 120 foot.
Okay, alright, we're getting shit done. Let's go.
You don't want to know what would have happened on a natural 20. Anyway,
I do want to know. I do want to know. Please tell me.
Another time.
okay. So you run back through the wall, and there's a click behind you as you detect that the panel has clicked shut into its illusionary double, and you're kind of guided through the crowds again. And she goes, "Come on! She doesn't like being left waiting." You charge back outside, and as you're stepping outside, you can see that the others are being kind of brought together with Renata Green, who is standing there with a nervous-looking regular Joe, just standing there, kind of, if he had a cap, it would be cap in hand. And you can tell by the hands by the posture and all the rest of it. This is a hard-working labourer in the city. You also notice, because you're coming down the stairs of the Green Manor, you do see somebody who's kind of just jogging down the street, and you notice it's Aiden. Okay, so in this time, Aiden has been woken up by Marianne, one of the waitresses there, and she has provided him with a quick draft of something so that he can sprint through the city a little bit faster. It's not quite a haste potion, it's Longstrider, the Longstrider potion. And he's cutting quite a path. Okay, Aiden,
I'm gonna equally stride straight up to him and be like, "Are you sure you should be here? I mean, I'm not out of bed. You took a very bad beating. I'm not really sure you should be here. Maybe we should need to take you to bed. How are you feeling? How things are going? I know that. I noticed your blood of that. You seem a little bit tired. Perhaps maybe we can do something about that. I mean,
are you okay, Aiden?
Is that a?
That was meant to be with an accent. Are you okay, Aiden?
She's not well. Leave her be.
It's no, I'm not doing well because I would rather sleep for another 5 years. But yeah, I have to be here.
Yeah, we kind of all do. Did you even hear
Also-
an explosion? You sleep through anything.
Give me a second. That potion I was given to get here really fast does this thing where like my brain is still tired, but my heart is beating at like 1,000,000 times a minute. So just
Isn't that really messed up?
just
Great,
give
you're
me a
both
minute.
high.
No, I like high implies that it's that I like it and that it's good. This is fucking hell. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna just go look for like a stair or something, like a ledge or whatever. That just sit
Cora is looking around to see what the hell we're meant to be doing.
So as Aiden tries to sit down, Hecris comes up, throws her arm around Aiden's shoulders and goes, "Good to see you here. Come on, let's go." And kind of
we have to,
bulldozes Aiden through the crowd and up to Renata, and she goes, "Ah, fantastic. Everybody's here. Okay."
Did Aiden get a chance to restock his healing potions?
He's just had some thrust into his hand. Okay. So Renata turns around and says, "I'm trusting you. I need the cobble dogs to command those who are going to be defending both our holdings, because there will be a lot of people taking advantage of the panic. And I need the rest of them to coordinate the missions that I'm giving pretty much my entire organization throughout the city. I've sent the other 2 groups off. The Sapphires and the Ratbags are going in through other parts of the city, but I want you to go through the area that collapsed. We believe we can find a safe route into the sewers that that area would have led into. We'll get people to work on the rubble. You don't need to look in there. I suspect very highly that the abductor and Tristane are both in the sewers. As I say, the Sapphires have gone down to the docks, and they're going to work from the docks back. So the agent that took Tristane will not be able to escape with him that way. The Ratbags are going to be doing a quick mission in the city itself, a bit of a shakedown of some of the less reputable elements of the city to see if they were involved. And by that I do not mean the king. The king would never attempt this. He wouldn't survive the night. I'm talking people who work outside of the Thieves' Guilds. Actual evil people. So the Ratbags will do that for you. And you notice that the Sapphires and the Ratbags, I did mention before, there was a drunk, rough mercenary band that turned up, presumably the Ratbags, and all Eladrin group. And you do remember, those of you who did see them, so everybody apart from Aiden, that they did all have an emerald clasped on their chest. as part of the costume. They all differed in their costume in a little way, but they all had a quite sizable sapphire on their chest.
We're not the Screen's K-pop band.
Yes.
Yes, you said they were a K-pop band back then, didn't you? So,
Miss Green, what does he look like?
Tristane.
Yeah, I've never seen him.
She flicks her fingers very, very quickly, and an illusion stands before you. A man of around about 22 years old. He's got sandy-coloured hair, which is in contrast to Duke Ostermark, who has a rich, deep hazelnut, dark hazelnut colour to his hair. Tristane has a moustache and short-cut, sandy-coloured hair, and he is reasonably thin, but not kind of emaciated. He's kind of thin and wiry. There's muscle there, but very, very little fat. I have a feeling he's probably very fast on his feet. And the costume that he's wearing in the illusion is a courtier's costume. So he's wearing tights. He's wearing kind of courtier plumed shorts. He's wearing a jacket and cravat. Or jacket with a shirt underneath with a cravat and frilled sleeves. And you do notice on his face in the illusion, this is some sort of recollection that she's just thrown together. He has a look of being a little disgruntled. Yeah, he looks uncomfortable, even in this illusion that she's just pulled from her memory. When she looks at him, there's a reaction from her as well. Anybody who would think that they would be noticing this type of thing, try for an insight check.
Insight.
Hey! Remember I said before the stream that I used up all my good rolls? Yes, you rolled a natural 1.
I rolled 2, so I'm joining you.
My passive perception.
Do you
I have
say
a
insight?
massively high
Insight or perception?
Insight.
Please.
Insight.
Non-natural
15
20.
even.
Okay.
21.
I don't know.
Aiden and Cora. So Aiden on 21 and Cora on 20. You notice something from Renata. It's not something that normally she has a very good poker face, very passive. She takes a look at this young man, and you can see that there's a look of hurt on her face. Maybe she likes the young man, and there's a look of worry, the definite look of worry.
What's everyone looking at?
Okay, so
What's everyone looking at?
huh? Him.
Farewell.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Is there anything else that we might need to know that you might know? Who might have taken him and why and how many and anything?
Tristane is somewhat of a free spirit. Also, where many people ensconce themselves within the privilege that they have in the city, Tristane likes to go out and be amongst the people. He dresses very often as one of the common people and walks throughout the city. And he's, I have to say, quite talented about it. He will walk around and take on accents and behaviours so that nobody would ever know who he was. And as a result, he's become somewhat of a bit of an intelligence agent for his father within the city. Other than that, he's a very accomplished sailor. The Duke, doesn't really care much for the sea. He trades upon it, but he doesn't really go on it himself. Not a big fan of ships. Prefers to have the land under his feet and an army at his back. Prefers a land war. But his son just has such a talent for it. just a natural navigator. So he's actually his father's representative for naval trade. On top of that, he's, I guess, a free thinker. He doesn't like being told something. He likes to figure something out for himself, and very often will try to change other people's minds. He's always in debates and always trying to get his father to think twice about everything. Quite a balancing act between the two, I have to say. Both of them very strong in character, very stubborn, but in very different ways.
May I propose something maybe a little stupid? Did you say he doesn't really like being where he is? I mean, is there any possibility that this is a way for him to escape?
No, it's nothing like that. He always comes back and, well, he's a very active politician. He may not enjoy the company of sycophantic courtiers, but when he goes out and socializes within the city and has fun listening to bards and drinking in the taverns, he does come back and live his political life, and he's very active in that political life. He wouldn't want to give up his privilege. He wouldn't want to give up his station in the city. He achieves a lot by it, sometimes to his father's chagrin, but he, trust me, please, Cora, I do understand Tristane. He's like a son to me.
Okay, so, right, let's go find him then.
Very well.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to see him. I have an oraculum. I'm going to try to see him through there. If I do see him and find his location, I will tell you straight away. So for those of you, I would say that's probably just Glory. No, actually, Glory, Eclipse, and Farewell would have heard of oraculums. Oraculum are normally a collection of seeing devices. There's normally a spell book as well. Scrying devices, normally in a chamber, normally a mirrored chamber with mirrors surrounding the walls going on into infinity. And it's what oracles and seers and scryers use to boost their vision. Yeah, so they can see further, faster, go through defenses, look more further into the future, divine secrets that they weren't able to get before. She's just admitted that she has one.
I was trapped in one once.
Yep. One of your other characters was trapped in a...
Yeah, not Eclipse, but me.
Yeah,
One of my other characters.
Yeah, so, but yeah, there's, so it's normally crystals, crystal balls, things like that. And she's revealing to you that she's got one and she's going to be trying to find him, which is possibly the best technology to use. But you can see by the look on her face that she's not convinced. She says, in the meantime, this is Michael, and there's a kind of tentative wave by the young man who's just been kind of standing by her side,
I went back.
A little shell-shocked, and he's there saying, governors and Mrs. I can get you into the sewers. Well, I know the guy who can get you into the sewers. If you'd like to follow me, assuming that you've finished with your conversation. I wasn't given any orders or nothing.
I need to get on with it. He would already be miles from here now. Like, we've taken some time. Let's go.
As you wish, miss. This way, please. And he starts to charge forward.
Is Hecris still there?
Hecris is currently screaming at the top of her voice. She's gone full Sergeant Major. She's getting these, what is currently being called investigation teams, who have been dispatched throughout the city. Teams of 6 people, and you notice that the 6 people tend to be the more physical of the lot, and they're all being handed weapons if they don't have them already.
Okay, we'll leave it to it. Let's go.
Go, team! We really need me.
Yeah.
I'll leave that one to you.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll leave that one to you. Like, come on. Like,
Okay. Right.
Just 1 second, guys. I'm just gonna grab something really, really quick.
Okay.
Mhm.
And I'm going to host using my
Well,
personal account.
I must admit, I did always want to be a knight in shining armor at some point.
did you think you
Though we did
having
not
go
to a
through-
guy.
Was it just for the shining part?
Yeah. And did you
That-
think you'd have to go through the sewers?
No.
Yeah.
And there was a pretty princess involved, but hey ho, can't have everything.
Well, you never know. He might have a dashing sister that you can sweep off his feet.
Oh, that would be lovely.
So, we've always got to find our silver linings, or at least there'll be a wonderful what are they called? Matrons that might look after them that you can enchant and find us a way into the Duke's good graces.
Mm.
Okay. You follow Michael through the streets, and there's a lot of panicked people running away from this huge column of smoke, which is now settling on the nearby buildings. You don't go to the site itself. You instead are about a block and a half away, and Michael runs down a flight of stairs that go below street level, and they're tucked in by the side of a building. The building you think is not residential. You hear him curse to himself as he gets to the bottom of the stairs, and then runs back up and says, "One moment, I know where he'll be," and he charges across the road into a pub, the Bell and Badger. Not even a minute passes, and he's dragging out a dirty, smelly dwarf that's wearing a yellowing shirt, brown trousers with frayed bottoms, and torn up boots. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not going back in there. No, I'm not going back in there. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Not doing it."
Why?
Nope.
Why? What scares you so much?
I kind of nearly had my bloody hand off, this is why. I'm not going down there. You can tell he's well into his cups.
Okay. But you'll need to be specific. I'm sorry, I've had this amazingly complex drink that's tweaked out all of my senses, so I'm not exactly firing on all cylinders at the moment.
Sounds perfect.
Monster or monsters?
A big old bloody rat is what it was.
A rat? You're
Yeah.
worried about a rat?
Not just any rat. I'm a friggin' sewer worker. I know rats, and I know
Was it a rat of an
and I know
unusual size?
big rats, but these rats were like the size of a dog. Oh.
Well, that's nothing. I flash my charmiest smile and just show us where it is, and I promise it won't survive long. Unless you say there's a lot of teeth in that smile.
Do me a favor and give me just just give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion?
boy.
Yeah, sure. Ooh, that's a waste of a good roll, but 17 plus 4, that's 21.
Okay. He looks you in the eye, and then he looks you in the teeth, and he decides, this is real. This is real, and I shouldn't be messing with this one. And he kind of gives you a nervous smile back and says, "Begging your pardon, Mum, I'll let you in." He does also see the the symbols at your belt. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that he needs to know. So he takes you down the stairs, and as he looks at you, he kind of has a pensive look on his face, looking directly at Glory at this point. And he goes, right, suppose I should tell you there's something weird about the rat.
Weird in what way?
It's big. What else?
No, well, it was big, but it was also crying. But it was crying like purple.
What?
Huh?
Hold on. It wasn't also talking, was it?
Crying purple?
No,
That
I did.
is fascinating.
No, I didn't talk. Can they talk?
Possibly.
What about Lina?
Anyway, carry on.
I was gonna ask, does the phrase "crying purple" remind me of anything?
Give me a. What would it be? I'll go for religion or arcana, in fact.
Do I get my Hunter's Bane advantage? I get advantage when recalling information about undead, fiends, and fae.
Let's go no for now.
Okay.
11 plus 4. That's a 15 for Arcana.
Okay. 15 for arcana. There's something that's kind of tickling you, Glory, just at the back of your mind. Purple, typically, or purple ooze, is more of an abyssal trait, typically.
Simon, I rolled an 18 in religion.
Okay. For an 18, yeah, you've got a bit more than Glory does. You have seen people under the effects of demonic magic before, and a slight vibrant purple hue to the skin is quite typical.
Huh.
Usually if they have been subject to secretions by abyssals and abominations.
Oh god.
What? Why? What's wrong?
This is gonna be fun.
I hate you, Glory. Yeah, yeah, I think there might be something demonic going on, like capital D demonic. No, maybe not capital D, but like actual shit from the abyss.
Oh, so we're talking.
So we're talking the abyss and not hell.
Yeah, no, we're not talking devils. We're not talking about the nine hells. We're talking about the abyss, which is bad.
Right. Both are bad. I don't know which one is worse because I don't have the background.
Then we
Alright.
better hurry because that kid could be in some real shit. Oi, dwarf, double time. Let's move.
I've got a name, you know.
Do you? Sorry, what's your name?
Dryland.
Oh, farewell. Nice to meet you.
Well.
That's so sweet. I love that.
Okay, but as I say, I'm gonna let you in, and then I'm shutting the door. All right?
Okay, but just don't lock it because we might need to get out in a hurry.
Oh, I'll lock it, but I'll stand by the door and let you out, or Michael will, depending. All right?
Maybe Michael. He's slightly less inebriated and probably won't find himself back in the bar.
What do you say? Okay, yeah, no, that's a fair cop. Right, okay. Here we go. He takes you down to down the stairs, and he says, right, so there's these are the service tunnels. They've got various like air grates and things like that. there's a couple of way down into the sewers, but they'll all go into roughly the same complex. After that, you just need to keep going east. Okay. Good luck.
DM,
Yeah.
would I know the sewers a bit?
You know the sewer system going in and out of the city around the perimeter. You also know that the sewers, being that the people who designed the city weren't born yesterday, are cut off into sections. And the sections are damn near impassable. Okay? So there will be times in a street where you'll see someone pop out of one sewer grate, walk down the road, and then get into the next one. And they are normally on places where guards are watching as well. So they will stop and question people if necessary. Okay?
Cool. Right, let's go. Right, hold on. What order are we going to go in? Who can't see in the dark? Because at the moment, for some reason, I can see really, really, really,
I just
well.
I slowly raise my hand. Just
Yeah, I can see in the dark.
So can I. I don't
It's only
think
me and you.
I don't think I can.
No.
It's not a
Halflings don't
halfling
have-
thing, is it?
oh really?
No, halflings
Yeah.
don't have dark vision.
Oh weird.
Does Farewell have a light spell?
Farewell does not, but he does have 120 feet of super dark
Got it.
vision.
Darling,
Us,
I
though.
got it.
Torches around?
I do actually, and I pull out 3 torches.
Guys,
Yeah.
Sorry,
guys,
Farewell.
yeah,
Sorry,
listen.
Glory.
Glory snaps her hand, casting dancing lights.
Ah.
That helps.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
guys want me to scout ahead, or shall we go as a group?
Don't go too far ahead.
I think we sort of stick together.
That's
Are
fair.
we trying to do this quietly, or are we trying to do this fast?
I think probably be
speed.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go,
I
guys.
think speed.
So scouting ahead doesn't need to happen. Let's go.
No. Let's go.
Okay.
Simon.
I can walk in front though and kind of go with my mage hand looking for traps. Just going. Ah.
Right up. Yes, Rodrigo.
While we're walking, I want to roll. I don't know if it will be either perception or survival, but as we're walking, or I want to keep my eye out for tracks of things that I might think they are like scratches or footprints of what I think could be demon, like fiends.
Right up. Yeah, we can do that. I'm just having a moment. Roll 20 is having a precious moment. There we go. So
Ooh. Are we gonna use roll 20 today?
we are indeed.
Yeah.
So
What a novel idea.
it is not letting
Never
me
done it.
set the control die for your avatars, which is lovely. There we go. It's working again now. So you guys all kind of queue up by the door. He opens up a set of double doors and then kind of ushers you all inside. Shortly after that, you guys find yourself in a small set of rooms, which I will just call up now. There we are. Yes, you're in a small set of rooms where you can see there's some storage down here, various other bits and pieces, and when this damn thing will let me do it. Roll 20 has got worse for this recently.
Oh boy.
Can I just take a minute there just to say, look how beautiful you are. The lovely Felicia's just drawn all these avatars of all of our characters there.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with them. Thank you very much for this, Felicia.
Absolutely no problem. Now, if Roll20 could start working for me too, that would be great.
Yeah, I don't know what's been going on with it recently. I can put together a map and all the rest of it, but the second person goes in, it starts to play up. At the moment, it's working as slow as an old Spectrum game. So
Yeah, I restarted it.
anyway, so both Glory and Eclipse should have control over their avatars now.
Yes, I can move Glory.
I can move Eclipse.
I am sending Awen in front of us by at least 10, 15 feet.
Does
No.
Awen have a dark
Yeah.
vision?
That's
Yeah,
good.
she does.
That
She
is a
should do.
good question.
Should do. She's a fey creature, isn't she?
Yeah.
At the
So
moment,
you could just kind of hold Awen and she can lead you and be your eyes.
It doesn't say dark vision.
Not
maybe
every
it says
creature has
tank
it.
vision.
She has passive perception of 13.
What does it say on her sight?
It doesn't.
Does it say like dark vision or blind sight or something of those lines?
Not in the stuff I printed out. I'll grab the DM, the monster manual, and have a look.
Yeah, she's a normal sprite, isn't she?
Okay. So inside. So inside the rooms that you can see there, the things that are stored here are tools and metal objects. You should all be able to use your avatars now, by the way. There are various tools and there's a wood pile. You can see that there's a small table where you think workers would have their lunch here as well. And yeah, I mean, this section here, this part seems fairly straightforward. And Eclipse can just about see that going around the corner, there's a small kind of quarantine pen with a dead and bloodied animal in it, and a pair of stairs that are going down.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm basically making my mage hand go a bit forward and just touching most of the surfaces looking for traps. Because that's what you can use mage hand for. Rogues, orchid tricksters. It's
Yep.
good.
You just
Once-
pat everything.
Yeah.
Once
Pat.
Eclipse tells us that it's all clear, does the creature that's in the cage that's dead look like it's been dead for long, or is it more of a fresh kill?
Okay, so let's first of all, Eclipse, you pat around and you realize this is a set of rooms for workers. There aren't any traps here. Why would there be any traps here? And
Because I'm paranoid.
fair enough, you're paranoid, but no, there doesn't seem to be any problem.
So this room here, is there something in the black bit that we can't see? I look at the door.
Nope, that's basically where the wall is. So if I just show you.
That's cool. So basically, we're having to head to the stairs.
Yeah.
Simon, I wanna investigate. I wanna look for signs of fiendish activity.
Sure. Give me a perception check with advantage.
Oh boy!
Roll big, man. Roll big.
If this is a repeat of what happened during that duel, I will go feral. It's not a repeat of that. Thank fuck. Perception, you say?
Yep.
17.
Okay. So you start looking around and you can't see anything here. There's been things knocked over on the tables, and you can see that Farewell's walking up to the dead animal. And as you guys go up to the animal, kind of all filtering behind Farewell himself, you kind of sniff and get down to the floor, and there's a definite odor of something, and there's something familiar about it, but you can't quite put your finger on it just yet. Farewell.
Do we see any footprints of rats?
The
Dog-sized rats.
The floors are slightly filthy, but you don't see anything in particular at the moment that suggests. I mean, there's little scratches and things like that you think animals may have caused, but yeah, you're not entirely sure.
Okay.
Okay. Farewell. The creature in front of you is a small, bloodied rat. It's just a regular-sized rat, and you find yourself kind of going down, sniffing it, trying to see what's wrong with it. It's been bitten, and clearly bitten to death. You can normally tell if something like a rat has feasted on another rat or whatever, but in this case, no, it seems to look like attack wounds. I'm just going to give you that as a gimme because you're a grave cleric.
Oh, interesting. Okay, from here on out, we need to be quick, but we need to be aware, I think, because this thing's been bitten to death by something, and I don't know about you, but I don't really fancy getting bitten to death by a dog-sized rat.
No, that would be very ironic, I think, for me.
Okay, so should we go down?
Yeah, we should.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Owen's out the front.
Okay. Eowyn steps out. Sorry, still wrestling with Roll20 behind the scenes here, guys. So Eowyn steps forward, flies forward, and stops very quickly. And says, "Can you hear that?"
Oh, wait, guys, listen. Can I hear that?
Perception check.
Roll well.
I did not roll.
I just said listen to everyone, just so you know. So in theory,
Yes.
Also, Nick, don't you have like a gajillion perception?
I do. It's a 18 for me.
non-natural 20 again.
So you can hear the skittering of.
I rolled a 16.
Okay, you can hear the skittering of rats, and there seems to be quite a few of them.
I'm hearing rats. It sounds like a lot. I can't tell if they're big rats or normal rats, though.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Weapons out. Let's. Oh boy. And yeah, I'll ready my shield and I'll get my flail out and.
Farewell, don't go running into the middle of it. Please.
Yeah, no, I learned that from the last time.
Maybe maybe we try if we see any of the really big ones, maybe we all try and attack one at a time, take them down instead of injuring all of them. I don't know. I'm sure Glory will be able to set fire to them all instantly, so it'll be fine.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
Okay, so Eowyn starts to fly ahead, and the area reveals around her. She describes things as she goes ahead, and as you should be able to see on the map now, it goes to somewhat of a crossroads, and she tells you that it seems to go here we go, to the left. It breaks off into areas, not trying to give too much away here. There we go. It breaks off into 2 areas, so it goes north and it goes east. And then there's another exit to the south. Okay. Move yourselves forward in the order that you'll be going as well. These are very narrow corridors, so whichever order you guys are going in.
I probably shouldn't go first.
I will go first if you guys want.
Do you want to move yourself in front of me then?
Yeah. Playing D&D character Tetris.
Yes.
Where do I put myself where I'm going to be least dead? Okay.
So,
Aylwin, yeah, go on.
no, go on. I was just going to say, does there look like there's any signs that anybody has sort of been through here that's not a rat? So more specifically, looking for people.
There's some scuff marks that suggest that there are some scuff marks here that suggest that there's traffic around, and there's a certain amount. There's a certain amount of foot traffic, mostly kind of. I'm trying to decide how CSI you are. Mostly kind of work boots, you're guessing, and work boots, feet being dragged, so kind of almost like ill-fitting work boots.
Anything that is there a particular concentration in one direction?
No, it tends to spread both directions.
Shit. Any ideas which way? North or south?
I'll
Yeah, let's go right.
Yeah. For those of you who don't speak Swedish, which I'm going to guess is most of the people watching, that was Corinne and Felicia doing ip dip in Swedish. Yeah. So.
Oh. I just thought something dramatic had really just happened then, that they just needed to discuss between the two of them.
Oh no! That's disgusting.
Right.
Like, there's no actual words, they're just nonsense.
Otherwise, generally, if you follow the left wall of a labyrinth, you will find the exit at some point.
Yeah,
always turn
right
left
now,
or always turn right, one of the two.
Yeah, but right now we want to find someone. I don't know if that necessarily means the end of the labyrinth.
Well,
Yeah.
it depends on. We have a urban bounty hunter. Can you use your bounty hunter magic to see? Okay, people recently went that way. Let's go that way.
No, really? That's not really what my background power gives me. Ivan, what's your survival like, Ivan? Can't you trap people?
I mean, I have survival, but I don't specialize in attacking of people.
Survival or investigation, what you want here.
Mine's actually really good.
Please bear in mind something. You guys have been told you're going into tunnels that will get you into the sewers.
Yeah.
Tristain did not come this way.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just go.
Yeah. So, Aiden, give me a perception check, and
No problem.
also Kate, can I have a perception check for Awen? And can we move Farewell back, because if he moves up to there, something else will
Bad
happen.
things happen. I rolled a 9
Okay.
perception.
9.
9.
You're pretty blind then.
And Kate, can I have Awen's result?
Yeah, hers was only 7.
Okay.
So, okay, so
So,
we have 2
Oh God, we're
blind
fucked.
people in the front. This is going great.
you guys head out into this T-junction. And just as you do so, just repositioning it for the lovely people at home. As you step out into the T-junction, there's this sudden skitter and this hissing sound. And then a sound that sounds like a kind of like an angry cat. But you realize it's not a cat. And there's this but it's a really loud and low version of that. And the hissing and the spitting and the charging as they charge towards you are 3 very, very large rats. They are to the south. I've just revealed the area on the map. And you can watch as Aiden steps out, and they turn around, which is what the skitter was. They turn around nervously and suddenly charge towards you. They're the size of, I'd say, a medium dog. Maybe just about mastiff size, actually. But you can see that they're malnourished. They've got roomy eyes, so their eyes, instead of usual kind of rat's eyes, are kind of cataracty. They're white. And as the dwarf said before, there seems to be this purple ichor coming out of their eyes. But later on, you'll also see, I'm going to say it now just in case I forget, you'll also see that it's also coming out of their ears, and it is present in their mouth as well. Okay, at this point, I would like you guys to roll initiative.
Yay.
Cara, I assume you're still behind Aiden because we haven't really moved out there yet.
Well, someone has to move out there to even look down that corridor. I assumed we all got out to look up north and south, but
yeah,
I
well,
might be wrong.
The stuff I revealed before was the stuff that Awen, who was invisible, told you about, and that's why I revealed it.
For sure.
And we just got to the point where Aiden was stepping out into this corridor. So, right, Eclipse.
15.
Glory.
At 4, I think it's for Felicia, if I'm reading what she's written correctly.
Yep. 4, okay. Cora.
Indeed.
8. Do I roll for Awen or do I not bother?
She goes on your initiative. I tend to do it that anybody that you're under control of goes on your initiative. It's faster. Aiden.
10.
Farewell.
12.
12. Okay.
This is great, guys. We got great initiative here. They're probably gonna nom us all.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're the ones that are going first. So the very first thing is that this rat here, the one that's closest to you, is going to charge up to Aiden, and he's going to go for his first bite, which is a 9, which I believe is a miss.
Yeah.
And then 13, which I think is also a miss.
Yeet.
Okay. The second one is going to do the same thing.
And then no one else can get forward.
It rolls 2 5s. That's abysmal. The final one's going to step up. So there's 3 here at the moment. and they're going to do something that they can do together, which is a swarm tactic. So it's going to make its attacks with advantage.
It can't reach. It can't reach the other time unless it has reach.
That's part of its. That's part of its swarm tactics. So it nat 20s here with one of its attacks.
Oh shit!
I can't make that go away yet. Soon.
So take 8 points of piercing damage and give me a Constitution saving throw.
Wait, how many points again?
8 points of piercing damage and give me a Constitution saving throw. So the what's happened is that the first two giant rats ended up trying to bite at you and not being able to get through the coat. The third one kind of climbs up on top of the other two to get a good vantage point, and it manages to go up, and it doesn't quite get your neck, but it does get the kind of your upper chest and sinks its teeth in. And the second that it does, you're kind of there thinking, oh, this is not good, as you watch this sumptuous light purple color spill over your wound. Okay, so Constitution saving throw?
7.
A 7. Okay. Immediately, it starts to react with your blood, and you feel immediately very, very sick. Roll me a d6.
It's a 6.
Okay, so your maximum hit points have been reduced by 6.
Oh.
And I didn't bring lesser restoration with me.
Okay.
That's good to hear.
I'm now going to do a quick check. No, nothing else happens. So the next one on the list is Eclipse.
Me. I'm gonna move out here, and I'm gonna
Give me a give me a dexterity check.
Because I can't move. I can move through my allies, can't I?
Give me a dexterity check.
Yeah. It's cocked. It's cocked. Can something not be cocked? Okay. That is 15.
15? Sure. It's slowed going through somebody else's space, but you do manage to get through without any problems.
Yeah. Cool.
These are very narrow corridors. Yes, you can move through someone's space, but part of the, call it layer details of this particular map is that these things are so damn narrow that it's more narrow than a regular doorway, put it that way. So getting through, you're jostling each other and can lose some time doing it.
Yeah. Can I use a bonus action to hide just behind the corner a little bit and then like poke my head out and shoot?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Stealth check.
Yeah, go for it. Stealth check.
That is lots. 15 plus 8.
Sure. Yep.
And
You've successfully hidden.
And then I will attack with advantage the rat that's right in front of with the bow.
Sure.
17 plus 6, I assume hits. Plus 6 plus 10 points of fantastic damage.
Okay. I just need to roll something. Oh yeah.
That's actually not bad though.
It dies. It dies very quickly. Yeah.
Okay. that was quick. So the one, this one then, I assume, if you want to remove.
Yeah, a nice solid 10 points of damage. As you hit it, it thumps into the body of it. It doesn't seem to react with pain at all. And it's actually in the middle of trying to attack Aiden again. And it just slumps, just very suddenly, to the floor. Okay? I'm going to move it to one side just to show roughly where it is. So I'm going to move it onto the wall there. But it's actually dead in front of Aiden. But that people can move into that space is the point. The next one is Farewell.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay. So I can't occupy the same square as one of my allies?
No, not really, because you'll prevent each other from doing something. You can both be in the same 5-foot square, but you wouldn't be able to strike at anything. I mean, I might give you a check and give you like disadvantage, but yeah, you
Need to move through.
Yeah. It's okay. In that case, I think the easiest thing for me to do is I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt on the little select thing on this one here.
Yep.
Sure. It looks like I've got line of sight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's I will.
How much?
I will probably give it a +2 AC. I'll give it a small amount of cover, but you can see how big it is. You're kind of like, yeah, even with partial cover, I'm pretty certain I'll get it.
How much that Farewell would keep out the rat?
That's a natural 20.
I fucking called it.
Okay.
So that's 27 in total. So that's 4d6 doubled. So first two 3s. Second two is 2 4s. So that's 6, 8. Together that's 14. So 14 doubled, 28.
28 points of damage. Right. Let me just. That'll kill most of the party members. Let me just.
Yeah.
Oh no! Dead. Very dead. Again, the bolt hits it, and it doesn't react at all to the pain. It just kind of carries on. Even the impact doesn't really seem to faze it all that much. It doesn't stagger or stumble. It does move with the impact of the bolt, but it doesn't react to it at all. And again, it's in the middle of trying to bite Aiden's ankles off when the bolt just sinks true straight into the flesh and the thing just falls to the floor. So, is that everything from you, Farewell?
What bonus action? Yeah, I think that's going to be it for me, actually.
Okay.
I'm not going to take any bonus actions this round.
Okay. Aiden, they're still stealing your kills, man. Go for it.
I'm just gonna fucking stab that goddamn right in front of me.
Sure. Presumably you're going to take a step forward?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you step forward onto the square in front, and then...
Uh-oh.
Where do you go? I think...
That's one too far.
One too far. Yeah. There we go. Roll for attack.
Okay. Not bad, 21.
Yeah, hits. Roll for damage.
That's 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So you bring your it's a rapier, isn't it? You bring your rapier down, and you manage to get it through the skull of the rat. However, it goes through the skull of the rat and out the back of its neck, and it's still attacking as if you did no damage at all.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, I'm just gonna do that.
Okay. You've definitely done some damage to it. As I say, it's got a steel rod going through its through its brain. But yeah, it's acting weird. You've stabbed things before. You've stabbed creatures before. This isn't acting the right way. It's not acting well. Not to put too fine a point on it, stabbed. So
yeah.
The next person up is Cora.
Okay, Cora is...
Rage blast. Eldritch
Yeah,
Blast.
basically,
Eldritch Blast.
Say it.
Eldritch
going in
Blast.
Say the
behind
line, Cora.
Aiden and
Say the line,
round the side
Cora.
of Aiden. Boom, Eldritch Blast.
Yay!
You guys are the worst.
Hey man, Eldritch Blast is a fucking good spell.
Yeah. Say
And that
the
is an
line.
18 plus 6 to hit.
Yep, it definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
Line, Cora.
Oh, I only rolled a 2. Wait.
Oh.
Does that do I add the spell attack thing? Or
No,
is that
you
for that's for the attack.
you don't have the powerful cantrip in Eldritch Invocation
it's
yet.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah.
2.
2. I'm like, pew! Oh.
Right. Okay. So yeah, it hits the skewered currently rat that's in front of Iden and does do damage in a quite disgusting way. It does because this is a force bolt. This is it's a bolt that you flick from your fingers, and it's like a telekinetic blast of force energy. It hits the flank, the side of the rat, and you just watch an eruption of flesh. Only 2 points worth, but it's a nice little chunk, like a kind of golf ball sized chunk taken out of the rat. When the flesh separates from the brain, hits the wall, it splashes against the wall as if it has no structural integrity of its own. And it's just running down the walls now. Sorry, we're in the sewers. Bit icky on the old what's the word? Descriptions here. But yeah, it's just dripping down the walls. Like when it separates from the rat, it just liquefies.
It's the rat dead.
Fascinating.
These rats
The
are
rat
weird.
No, the rat isn't dead. It's taken 2 points of damage.
Usually people flesh doesn't act like that unless you hit it with acid.
No.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear.
It's just a rat.
Yeah.
A rat.
Who's next?
Yeah, I was supposed to say it's not dead, so who's next in initiative?
It's Glory. Okay.
Next
Yeah,
up
I'm
is
gonna take
Glory.
him.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tow around Farewell.
You could do
Fire,
2
bolt.
diagonals, so I'm not going to give you a dex check. Go for it.
Excuse me,
Let-
sorry,
Fire,
excuse
bolt.
me, excuse me,
Fire,
sorry,
bolt.
sorry, excuse me, sorry, excuse me.
Very British.
Fire, bolt. Fire, bolt. Fire, bolt.
Exactly what I was planning to do.
Yay.
Well, depending on how many were left. Otherwise, it would be acid splash, but we
It's only
did
one.
talk about fire.
Yes. Fire.
Fire. Da, da, da.
Fire
I'll bring you to
bolt.
burn.
Let's
Da,
see
da, da.
here. That's an 6, so 17. That as a okay.
17. Yeah, that hits.
Let's see here. 1d10 fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7.
7 points of
7
damage. Let me roll a dice.
Bang.
Okay,
Rat.
so the fire hits the rat, and it's enough damage. You can see from here that this should be enough damage to absolutely vaporize this rat. And strangely, as it hits, it chars all down one side of the rat, but the rat doesn't seem to be affected by it. In fact, it's trying to push its way up Aiden's sword to bite him. Okay, it's the rat's turn. So
That rat ain't right.
Yeah. So the rat tries to bite Aiden with disadvantage because it's on the end of a sword. Yeah, a 14's not going to hit you, and
Nope.
that would have been 23, but it's another 14. Yeah, this rat's not getting you anytime soon, but also it doesn't seem to be dying very well. I just need to make a roll.
I don't like this rat. Things should die when you throw fire at them.
Okay.
Mhm.
I would like Cora and Eclipse to make a perception check.
Oh no.
We're about to
Yeah.
get flanked.
But I'm in a good position to throw around spells.
15.
Bless you.
Thank you.
19.
I'm just gonna mute myself.
Okay,
now.
you both hear it behind you, and I'm just going to reveal a little bit more of the map here. Behind you, you can hear the same kind of startled movement and then hissing as you can hear more of these things behind you. Okay?
Great.
Oh
Can I see
no.
them?
I suppose we don't have dark vision. I see what you mean. Yeah.
And yeah, I'll reveal the map. That's where you're hearing the 3 pings from behind. Let me just check to make sure everybody can see it on. Yeah, everybody can see that on the stream. So there's 3 more that you can hear behind you at the moment. Cora and Eclipse can see the one closest to you, but the 2 that are in the chamber behind, you can only hear them. Okay. Let me just get rid of that thin bit of shadow. That's annoying me. Okay. So hang on. They get to go. So
I think it's my go.
No. This is the rat's turn. It's still the rat's
shit.
turn. So the first rat, the one that's closest, is going to charge Eclipse. It's going to just take a regular hit at you. 21, I assume, hits.
Yes.
Take 3 points of nibble damage and give me a Constitution saving throw.
1 second.
Concern.
Yes, concern. If my D&D Beyond wants to load, because it was loaded, but now it's not loading. Load.
Don't you just love technology?
Well, our internet's slightly overloaded at the moment, so I don't blame it.
What are you doing?
So 3 points of nibble damage, you said?
Yep.
And then, I don't like this. Natural 20 on my Constitution.
Yes!
Fucking
Nice.
nice.
Sure. Nothing happens. The second rat is going to charge after the first, and he's going to go for a regular attack. I'm assuming that a 7
What's
doesn't
his
hit.
movement, Simon? Because he's quite far away.
Enough.
Okay.
So it tries to bite you on a 7 and fails, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's connected with the others, so it's going to use swarm tactics and leap onto the backs of the rest of its swarm. Does a 17 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. Take 5 points of piercing damage and do another Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Help. Wait. It's at 5. That's a 1.
Oh no.
Okay, roll a d6.
Bye-bye, Eclipse.
The party never makes it to the sewers. They TPK right here.
We are the
Rats.
elite of the elite. You should head into the sewers. We won't take anyone else. We
The
don't
party
need anyone
dies to
else.
rats of unusual size.
Better than a rug of smothering.
I don't believe they're real.
I don't even.
Oh, Rodrigo, that was so good. I'm dead.
So,
No,
6.
will I be soon?
Simon, so that was 6. Do I lose 6 hit points and my max total, or is it just I lose 6 of my max total? How does that work?
So you took I think 3 and then 5 points of nibble damage. So you're 8 points down. You don't lose another 6. You just your maximum goes down by 6.
Okay.
So you should now be 6 hit points lower and 2 damage into that new total. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So that's those rats. That's all they're gonna do. So first up is Eclipse. What are you gonna do? You're up against a wall of oozing, putrescent, and strangely covered in purple goo rats.
Now, these rats didn't seem to have a lot of hit points, so therefore I'm gonna cast sleep on all of them.
Go for it.
Oh yes, power play. We
Thinking
love
outside the
power play.
box.
So 5d8. So.
Watch them have like 20-something hit points.
Well, we know they have roughly around 10 because I killed one with 10. So.
Did you?
Yes.
Did you?
Are we even certain about anything at this point?
No, I'm trying to do maths, so be quiet. Please. 25.
Okay. Right. So you feel this this charm effect flow from you as you use the pure power of your will, a cat staring down rats, to make all of the rats fall asleep. And you feel, Eclipse, you feel that you should succeed in making all 3 of them fall asleep. I'm going to roll some dice. However,
will it not affect the 4th one as well?
It's not. It's
no.
different way.
Yeah, she has to choose an area, and then it goes in hit point order in that area. So you should have made all
I
3
don't
of.
like you saying this.
You should have made them all fall asleep. Yeah, that was enough. It was enough to make them all go to sleep. But the only one who does go to sleep is the one in the back. You see, there's a little sleep symbol on the one at the back. And basically, it passes out and falls back off the other 2. So as it's...
So they're not... So it's not swarming anymore, anyway.
They haven't... they can't do their swarm tactics at the moment, because it requires at least 3 of them to do a swarm tactic.
Yeah.
So you have managed to break that particular part of them attacking, but you've only managed to make 1 out of 3 of them fall asleep.
Well,
Great.
fuck.
And again, it didn't look like an animal going to sleep. It was attacking and biting at you, and then it literally just flopped on the floor and fell off the back of the other 2. Okay. So, Farewell, what are you doing?
Is panicking a suitable answer?
That's a
Yeah.
That's a free action. I'll give that to you. For
Okay. So pure pant shitting proceeds. Fuck. Okay. So for my bonus action, I would like to summon my spiritual weapon.
Sure.
And I'd have it summoned there, please.
Yep, no problem at all.
It's just going to be a big mace because I want to squish some rats.
Yeah.
Why didn't you make it a mousetrap?
Because I am not that creative.
You could make it the little red cage at the end of Mousetrap the board game. That would be cool.
Yeah, but then it will never work because that never works. I've never played a game of Mousetrap where that little fucking thing ever drops.
That is actually the answer I was going to go for. You stole my joke, but take a point of inspiration.
Hey!
Yeah, well.
I'll take it.
Okay, I'm just going to pull the first mace from Roll20 and shove it there. It should appear in a sec.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, so That is a 26 to hit.
That indeed hits.
Christ.
Yeah.
That
No,
takes
did it right.
9 points of radiant damage. Force damage.
Force
sorry.
damage. It is force damage. Okay. The mace comes down with a speed and strength that should have splattered this thing into chunky salsa.
Stop saying should.
When it and this is a lot of damage actually. So it hits it, and you see something really disturbing. As it hits, it splats into the rat as if it was Play-Doh. The mace buries itself into the rat. The skin buckles, and you're starting to understand a little bit more about what's going on, Farewell, because the one thing you didn't hear was breaking bones. As the mace lifts back up and goes incorporeal again, because it only becomes physical when it attacks, you watch as the rat reinflates.
Oh, that's nasty.
Sacred flame, sacred flame.
I don't have sacred flame.
Burn it!
What cantrips do you have then?
Guidance, mending, shape water. That's a racial. Spare the dying, thaumaturgy, and toll the dead.
Well, totally dead then.
A rat.
But yes, as Corinne quite rightly pointed out, I would like to toll the dead, but I would like to toll the dead on this one to
Sure.
free up Hayden. So that's a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw.
I need to check if it's got a minus value because I've rolled 15 exactly. No, it has a wisdom of 0, so it makes it by the skin of its teeth. Yeah.
Well, at least it's a D8. Or no, is it nothing?
It's nothing. Yeah,
It's nothing.
Oh, yeah,
it's
it's
cantrip.
nothing.
Okay.
Bastards. Yes, that's
Next up is Aiden. So you've got the one in front of you still skewered on the end of your rapier, and now
Okay.
that we mention it, yeah, you thrust forward. Didn't feel a skull when it went
Okay.
through. It went through quite clean.
I have an idea. It's gonna hurt me, but I think it will be worth it. If it will.
Because I was gonna say these are things just like cruel. They probably have a zombie thing where Simon rolls to see if they stay. So it's mostly just do some type of damage.
Okay, can we find out what Aiden's doing? You're probably right, but let's see what Aiden wants to do. What are you doing, Aiden?
No meta pigeon.
Yeah. Cool. It's gonna hurt me, but I'm gonna use my Crimson Rite, my Rite of the Dawn, which is the light one. So just give me a second as I reduce my maximum hit points even further.
That's smart.
Yeah, and I also take damage, so.
I would point out he's within 30 feet of me. He's fine.
That is good.
All right. And I'm gonna attack it again.
Go for it.
So that's gonna be. Hope it lands. Are you fucking serious? That's 11.
11. You pull the blade out, and you go to stab down. But as you're going to stab down, it's trying to bite you, and its neck goes out, but it goes out to the side, and you miss, and you hit the floor with your rapier.
Oh my god, are you fucking... Okay.
However, I will give you, now that you've activated your right, I will give you... give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay, that's pretty high, but I'm gonna try it again with another die. Yeah, that's gonna be the perception, the 22.
Okay, so the creature in front of you, Aiden, is not undead. However, there are elements of undeath.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Which is why you couldn't quite get it before, because you normally kind of you ping your sense off, and if there's an undead there, it's just like blip 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 around you. This one didn't show up like that, but there was just a general kind of hazy feeling of you should look closer, and you get it now. It's right there in front of you. You've kind of stabbed it. You've kind of gone, bones? No bones. And you suddenly realize, yeah, there's an element of undeath, which is why I was able to put my sword through its brain. Now, guys, it is 9 minutes to 10. I'm going to suggest we take a quick break here,
Yes,
and
please.
we will be back very shortly. So, as for
We're all gonna
those of you
die!
watching, we will see
Nibbled
you
to
guys.
death.
Oh,
Oh,
one
yeah.
person was thrown today. Nick was thrown.
Yeah, no one screamed about consent in the chat yet.
I think she's busy at the moment. Her and her good fella have got a big trip coming up as he's getting deployed as he's part of the military. So I think they've got
Oh,
some
wow.
stuff they're sorting out.
Okay. Well, in that case, we will see everybody in about 10 minutes. See you then, and hopefully we'll find out a
Bye.
bit more about what's going on.
When we come back, we will be dead.
We're all
Yeah.
See you soon.
So
Welcome back, everybody. So, when we left off, the party had been flanked by giant rats in a bunch of service tunnels leading to the sewers. They're not even in the sewers yet, just in a basement of a building leading down to, hopefully, find Duke Edmund Ostermark's son, Tristane. The giant rats that are attacking them seem to have a few peculiar qualities. First of all, they have this strange light purple ichor coming out from their eyes as if they're crying, coming out of their ears, and it's also present in their mouth, as Aiden found out when one of the rats bit him.
Me too.
And they have also managed to sink their teeth into our resident murder kitty. So as they do that, as well as they're biting in, some sort of infection is taking hold. Very aggressive, very quick. And they find themselves losing maximum hit points. They're getting weaker as these things are attacking. The other thing as well is that these rats seem to have a structure as if they have a skeleton when you look at them. But then when you strike them, for example, you have Rodrigo playing Aiden, stabbing his rapier through the skull of one of the rats, through the brain, in fact, coming out the other side. And there's no resistance of bone. Farewell, played by Nick, brings down his mace, a spiritual weapon that he conjures in front of some of the rats. And the rat squishes as if it was plasticine or clay. And then when the mace is removed, it reforms. Yes, Corinne?
I was going to say, Kate is probably not properly back yet. Kind of started without.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought Kate was back already. She was sat there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think she knew we were live.
Right. Okay. Sorry, I did say we were going live.
No, she
didn't have a headset on.
She didn't have a headset on. Okay, no problem.
Oh no.
We are not a professional outfit, everybody.
We're far from it. We're anti-professional.
Yes, we're the punk of D&D.
Well, when we put this together, we always had when I put this together, I always had the aim of not trying to be the next Critical Role, but just inviting people to our table. And as part of that, we have all the chaos of getting people around the table. So as soon as Kate comes back, we will continue on there.
Hello, Kate. We were expecting
Kate.
you.
I didn't know we'd started. I was just like, we usually have a really long break, and suddenly you did a really short break.
I can only apologise, Kate.
Something?
I saw you sit down, and I didn't realise you didn't have your headphones on. So I just said, "Okay, guys, I'm going back into it." And then you walked off, and I was like, "Where's she gone?"
I just sort of glanced up and went, I think we're live. I was talking production stuff, sorry. Anyway,
That's fine.
Okay.
So
I'm ready to kill rats, don't worry.
no problem. All I did was recap anyway, so that's fine. So it is actually your turn, though, because Aiden had just been skewering a rat in front of him. Or not,
Perfect
as the case may be. He managed to do some pretty serious damage to one of the paving slabs on the floor. So it is down to you, Cora. Are you going to shoot the one that's in front of Aiden, or are you going to take pot shots at the three, now two, that are attacking the person next to you?
I
Leave the other two to me.
I look both ways and I see that Glory is eyeing up with hungry, fiery eyes those other rats. So, and Aiden took a little bit of damage, I think, earlier, didn't he? He got bit. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this one.
Sure, go for it.
The one that I already took a chunk out of.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
Maths. 18 plus 6.
Yeah, hits.
Hit.
Very much hits. It's a rat.
Better hit.
10 points.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, so
Eldritch Blast.
Aiden, you watch as this bolt of force launches over your shoulder and collides with the very center of the rat, burrowing in deep, and then there's just an explosion of green goo. in front of you, and it is just a pool of very rapidly dissolving flesh. As you see it dissolve, you do see that very, very faint difference in the tones of purple. There are patterns that look like bone. They aren't bones themselves, but there are patterns that look like bone in amongst the flesh, and they dissolve and just start turning into this loose, almost translucent slime as the body dissolves. But two of the rats in front of you are still intact, dead but intact. Okay. So that is Cora. Well shot. Glory.
Isn't that fascinating?
So did the rat die then?
Oh, well, you're assuming it's dead by the fact that it's now covering a very large area.
Yeah.
Can I move where the mace is, or am I in the way?
You can move through the
Isn't it
mace.
incorporeal?
Actually, the mace.
Yeah.
The mace is incorporeal. You can move. You can absolutely share the space with the mace.
I'm gonna tuck myself into this corner, out of the way of other people.
The mace will protect.
Yep. You do go through the threat range of one of the rats, but you don't leave it, so you're fine.
Is the bottom rat dead? Oh, yes. Good.
Yeah, it took a while for the X to appear. Okay. You can actually see, now that you've moved, Cora, you can see a little bit more, so I'll reveal that to you now. There seems to be a vent, and that's leading into a kind of T-junction. Let's just put that there. The vent seems to be giving off a kind of steam, and it doesn't seem to be coming out at pressure, but it does seem to be very slightly. You can see the heat from here. It's making the air shimmer. Okay, so you can see a T-junction there, and next up, as I say, is Glory.
Well, we have 3 sleeping rats. Right. Just regenerate unless you
No, you see
bad.
To correct you, Felicia, you can see one sleeping rat that's just inanimate. Its eyes are open, it's inanimate, and it's just fallen over. So it's kind of lying to one side, and it's in a pose as if it was frozen in time. So it's almost like it's flash frozen rather than asleep. And the two in front of it are attacking currently. They were both attacking Eclipse, but now one is attacking Eclipse and one is looking around to Cora.
Interesting. I will actually not do anything fancy because these guys don't take a lot to kill.
It's just
Acid
getting...
splash.
Yeah.
And since they are within 5 feet of each other, like these.
Do I have to do a saving throw?
No, it's just I'm hurling a bubble of acid. One creature within range, or choose 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other.
Yep. Is it a saving throw?
You're rolling a save. You're rolling a dex save.
Okay. Okay, that was interesting. I rolled a natural 20 and a natural 1. So,
how does that work?
So one saves, one doesn't.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, hang on. Doesn't Acid Splash only one of them make the check, and then the one next to it just gets some of the splash? Let me check that. Let me just check.
Or choose 2 creatures that are 5 feet of each other.
Acid Splash. Hurl a bubble of acid. Choose 1 creature within range or 2 creatures within range that are within 5 feet of each other. Targets must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 acid damage. Yeah, go for it. So 1 passed, 1 failed. Give me d6 acid.
Yeah, but it's a crit fail. How does that work with the saving throw? It's just
normal.
Criticals don't matter, yeah. So as with skill checks, criticals don't really matter. It's only really in combat that they matter. Sometimes a DM will give you extra stuff if it is a critical. Typically we do, just to celebrate the fact that you've rolled it, but they don't really do anything on a saving throw.
Please. Free rats.
And
That's a five.
also the critical fail doesn't really do anything on a saving throw either.
No. It's a 5 in damage.
Okay, the one on the left takes quite a sizable glob of acid to the face, and you can see as the acid is starting to eat through the body, the rat is acting as if nothing is wrong, and even as it hits, because it hits from the side, even as it dissolves the shoulder and the leg drops off, it carries on attacking Eclipse as if nothing happened, although its body is slowly dissolving. It's taken a lot of damage. In game terms, it's got 2 hit points left.
Sad.
Okay. So that's what Glory did.
It was a good try, though.
It's now the rats' turns themselves, so I've got to do another roll. How many am I rolling for? Okay, so that is... Oh, they both succeed. So, Cora, you watch as, with a rat-like scream, 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, one of them does actually get up to here. And one of them on the corner and comes into contact with you. So you are effectively flanked. Not that it does anything in this. And a second one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is just before the vent. I'm not going to get you to do any perception checks or anything, Cora, but as the creature passes through the steam, it doesn't seem to affect it, even though it seems to be incredibly hot. Doesn't seem to damage it in any way.
And they don't stop coming.
Yeah, there's a portal to the underworld. It's all gonna be fine.
Portal to the rat world.
Okay,
It's
so
fine. If we end up in the underworld, I can at least talk our way out.
it's okay. I've been here before. They got the best nightclub. So let me just update. Bring a few of them in. There we go. Right. So first of all, one of the rats is going to try to attack Eclipse. An 11, I'm assuming, does not hit. The second rat tries to bite Cora for 10, but gets a 10, does not hit. And then the third rat, the one that's just appeared. Oh, terrible rolls. Terrible rolls. That was everything.
More rats! More rats!
Okay. So, yep, as the rats start to swarm up, you... No, it doesn't quite affect it yet. You can see that both Cora and Eclipse, who are not the tanks and not the first choice to put first, are being swarmed by these rats. So, Eclipse, what are you doing?
Can I hide? right here. right here, where I'm standing.
You cannot currently hide.
The rats are looking at Eclipse going like, oh, how the turntables.
Yes. Then I will stab the rat that is connected to both me and Cora so I can get sneak attack damage, because otherwise I won't be able to.
Absolutely, go for it.
I will stab it. That's cocked. I will stab it. That's a natural 20. That's lots of stabbing of this rat.
Die, rat.
You touch the rat and it explodes.
Yeah. 5 plus 3 är 8 plus 11 plus 11 plus 16 plus 1 17 plus 4 21 points
Okay.
of stab damage.
So what would be considered overkill? Your rogue stabs down with a what is it? Just a dagger?
Rapier.
Rapier. Stabs down with the rapier and follows through, not meeting any bone, not meeting any resistance. She kind of dives her rapier into the belly of the beast and then flicks up with a flourish. And as she does so, there's a kind of quivering from the rat, and it splits in two and just starts to melt.
I will disengage from the rat, and I'm gonna move back here. I think. Cancel.
You're standing on top of me now.
I will move back all the way over here, if I can. I should be able to. I am under the rat. Can you move the rat, the dead rat?
Give me. Well, you could. Oh yeah. Hang on. What I can do is make it go underneath.
Dead rats are dead.
Yeah.
For now.
Hope they stay dead.
I wonder if you can reverse engineer
nice.
what's keeping them alive.
So
No, I think that's no.
I'm underneath. I'm still underneath the rat.
I'm moving the rat.
Other rats.
Yeah, the other rat. Yeah. Okay, I'm moving all the corpses out the way. Right, hang on. Let me do something. Bring to front. Right, you will now go on top of any rat.
Yay!
So,
Excellent test.
give me a quick dex check, Corinne.
Check or save?
Check.
My brain. 13.
Yep, fine. Okay, next up is Farewell. What are you doing, sir?
So panicking is still a free action, right?
It is, yes.
Fantastic.
Strut go up.
So I'm going to move up here.
Yep.
I'm going to have my spiritual weapon smack the one in front of me as my bonus action.
Go for it.
So 14 plus 7, so I'm going to assume that hits. It's 21.
Yep, that hits.
So it's 1d8 plus. Oh, that's a bit naff. I rolled a natural 1 on my damage. What's my bonus?
Oh no.
Five damage, I think.
Yeah. Is it? Hold on. Sorry about this, folks.
It's okay.
Yeah, well, plus 5 to 6. This is
Sure.
rather disappointing.
Not that disappointing. It hits the rat, and the rat doesn't explode at all. It just about applies enough damage to destabilize whatever this rat is made out of. It falls to the floor and very slowly starts to ooze. It's rather than it dissolving quickly like the others, this one is just starting to kind of deflate or spread out a little bit. It's just starting to misshape. That's what I describe it. It's just starting to relax and misshape.
And can I see that rat?
You can.
Okay, so I will yell out to Cora. I'll be like, quick, behind me, get away from that. And I'm going to toll the dead that rat that's next to her. This one here.
Sure.
DC 15 Wisdom.
DC 15 Wisdom. Oh, well. Rats are known
Natural
for their
20.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You had to call it. It wasn't a natural 20, but it was a 19. So,
Oh my god. Nothing.
yeah, it doesn't
Stacey.
seem to be affected by the necrotic damage that comes towards it.
I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to.
I'll remember this. Little thing that appears above my head. Nick will remember this.
Okay. I think that's everything from you, Nick.
That is, thank you.
Okay, what are you going to do? There's two, and now you look at them slightly dissolving, slightly misshapen, slightly kind of just oozing to the floor rat bodies. And, yeah, you can't see anything within range that's coming towards you.
Right. I don't want to metagame this too much. I imagine, considering that Eclipse just kind of sprinted to where I am and hearing farewell shout Cora get, behind me, or I imagine I would know there are rats here.
You just hearing alone, you can hear that there's screaming and squeaking and general ratty kind of noises. It's not metagaming, it's being aware.
Right. Yeah, I just don't want to. Yeah. Okay, so I'll try to see. It's 5, 10, 15. I'll move. I'll try to move here first, like kind of zigzagging.
Yeah.
through the-
Give me a dexterity check.
Sure. Motherfucker. That's 9.
9. Okay. You've lost your bonus action. As you were shouldering your way past, you lost a bit of time, and you only have an action this round.
That's fine because my Crimson Rite is still up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna move here then, if that's fine.
Yeah.
Step down now.
And I'm gonna stab the rat.
Stab
the
it.
rat.
Go for it.
Stabbity, stab.
Okay, that's 18.
That hits. Let's see how much damage you do. I've rolled my dice already.
Here's the thing, Simon. You need to tell me this. If the rat is undead, I will do extra damage. Because that's how the Rite of the Dawn works. I think I add my wisdom to the damage if it's undead.
Add the extra damage, but it is not undead.
Alright. If it's not undead, it's fine. Yeah.
It's not undead, but it is benefiting from undeath. So I'm going to say, apply your damage. Whatever the damage mechanic is, it seems to benefit you in this case.
That's 15 points of damage.
Whoa. Yeah, dead. Dead. Absolutely dead. I could not roll my way out of that one. If you haven't guessed, I've got some house rules that I'm working to here with some of the shenanigans that's going on here. You've kind of getting into your stride now. You watched some of the others die, and you realise that it's kind of like a stab and a flick. And you stab in pretty much the length of the blade into the rat. And then with a flourish, you just flick it up, causing as much disruption to whatever the matter is. And as you do so, this thing just splits from the top, from about the middle up. It splits like a banana, effectively, and well, not like a banana, like a hot dog bun. And
grim.
The two halves, even though the two halves are still connected by probably like a 4-inch part of the belly, it splits and just falls with both sides. You spatchcocked it, if you know what that is. It just falls down on the floor. The legs crumple from beneath it, and you can see as it's kind of fallen to one side, the mouth is still trying to bite, but the mouth is in two pieces now.
Okay, that's
Because
my
it's a
turn.
great word, you have bifurcated the rat. So that's Iden. Yeah, well done. You managed to get through and do that. Cora, you can just about see the other rat, and it's charging towards the vent. And by the looks of it, it was going to go for you, but now is going to go for Iden.
Okay, so the other, but it's still where it is. It's still over here.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, it's still at distance.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, can I Eldritch Blast through this vent thing?
Oh,
I don't want to head that way because that looks. You say that looks really hot.
It does look quite hot. There's a heat shimmer in the air.
Okay. Free
yes.
action. I'm gonna say I don't think we can go this way. It looks too. There's a vent. But I'm gonna send an Eldritch Blast at the rat.
Sure, go for it.
Ooh, I'm rolling well today. That's an 18 plus 6
Ooh.
again.
Yeah, hits. Go
Wow.
for
I
it.
like this dice today.
Nice.
So let's see if I can roll a 10 again. That would be nice. Come on, roll a 10 again. 7.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast.
1.
Oh, nasty. I rolled a 2. Yeah, this thing just splatters over a wide area. Yeah, there we go. There was no challenge there. That was fine.
And I
Go see.
I head to here. No. Do I? There. Oh, well, under. I'm here. Yeah. Oh.
Do you need me to move Farewell?
No. I'm under the rat. I can't.
If you haven't noticed, everybody, we like hiding underneath rats.
I don't know which rat she's on about at the moment, so I'm looking at it. Oh, there we go.
I'll just go here.
Oh, it's so funny. It's just the sliding rats just to find Cora.
I'm like, she's literally. Whoop! But actually, it's covered in goo, so she doesn't want to do that.
Okay, so I'm moving all of your avatars to the front, so you should be able to put them on top of things. The only thing that you won't be on top of is each other. So, but you all can sort that amongst yourselves. Right. So. Okay. Okay. So you take a moment to listen for more of these critters skittering towards you.
Well, we got sleeping one.
Yeah, you did.
Yes.
So you take a look around. No more seem to be attacking you at this point. So to give you an idea, you've got 3 slowly melting rats. You've got 2 puddles and 1 bifurcated. You also have one that is, we're going to use the word asleep. I would say, looking at it, talking to the players rather than the characters, suspended animation would probably be the term I'd use, or just basically frozen.
Are you okay? Are you guys okay with me basically sneak attacking and critting this guy to death? Because
go
Yeah,
nuts.
go for it. Yeah, go crazy.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, have
Okay.
fun.
So don't bother with rolling to hit dice. Just roll yourself double damage.
Yeah, I choose to roll double dice because that gets better results. Okay. So start with my D8. 4 +
While
8
this is happening,
12
and wait a little bit.
16. 6, vilket är 22 plus 1. Plus 2 är 25
She's speaking in
plus
ball.
4.
no, he's speaking Swedish.
That is pork.
29 points
Adorable.
of piercing,
God.
stabbing damage.
Yeah, you bring the rapier down, and again you've got this idea of stab and flick, and you kind of end in a flourish that kind of goes back through it several times, and you're just smearing it. By the end of it, it's like buttering bread. Yeah, and you've kind of smeared this rat across the floor. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
you're out of
Now,
combat, guys. Well done.
yay.
Okay.
Yay!
Short rest, guys. Short rest, anybody. Short rest.
No, we haven't got a
No,
time.
we don't
We've
have
got to
time
find
for
the-
that.
I'm pretty sure we have the time for a short rest because we do not want to keep these. Because me and Aiden are really bad at.
I walk up. I walk
Are
up
you
to each of them.
injured?
I walk up to
As
each
in,
of them.
we have our
and-
hit point maximum reduced at the moment.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
like by
I-
6, right?
Yeah, by 6, which is like a third of our hit points.
Actually, I have it. I have my maximum hit points down by 10 because I got bit by the rat, which got me down to 6, down by 6, and then I used my crimson rite, which got me down by another 4.
You have
Uh,
3 healing potions in your pouches as well.
Yeah, but
I know.
that doesn't matter with the hit point maximum.
No, but
Does the
Simon.
does the
We
short
don't-
rest get you your
Right.
hit point maximum back then?
I think
Simon.
so.
No,
I
it
don't know
doesn't.
whether it does. No.
Simon,
Yes, Rodrigo.
now that we're out of combat and there's no more, hopefully, no more rats coming at us, I do want to take some time, examining the corpse of the rat that by fracture rat like that I have in front of me.
Mhm.
The first thing I want to test is I still have like my rapier still has the Rite of the Dawn right on it.
Mhm.
You said there was you said it like they start melting into puddles, right?
Yep, that's right.
I want to put my rapier with the Rite of the Dawn, and I want to touch the puddle with the rapier. I want to see what happens.
Okay, when you touch the puddle, nothing happens, but as you graze past the body, it starts to dissolve faster.
right.
Right. So I didn't turn. I just I keep looking at the corpse, but I tell the others, yeah, we're dealing with undead. I mean, these are not fully. I don't know how to explain it, but like, there's
Living, you
undead.
said.
There's undead fuckery going on, and I don't like that.
Well, guys, as lovely as this looks, I have not seen this much gore since the cousin Victory's after party when they turned 18. We should hurry up.
You scare me in so many ways sometimes. But
I was
I
mostly drunk for that.
agree. I think we need to get on. Before we do, you two, how hurt are you? And can your potions cover you, or do you need me to do it?
I mean, I'm feeling shittier than usual.
Yeah, but you know,
How long does your rite last, Aiden?
It lasts until the next rest,
Okay.
and then I get my hit points. Like the right ends, and I get the hit points I used on it back. But until then, I will keep having the Rite of the Dawn on me unless I drop my weapon.
Okay. Okay, let's go then.
okay,
I am
let's
very
go.
scared. I'm very, very scared.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
A few things first, being that you've taken in the scene around you. First of all, I would like Farewell to do a medicine check.
Okie dokie.
Lovely.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. That is maths. 25.
25. Yeah, both Eclipse and Aiden are diseased. You can see straight away, and the disease bitten in quickly.
Ooh, right. One
Fun.
second. Equipment.
I wanna imagine that that's what Farewell's doing. Like, just go, oh shit, and then just start rummaging through all his shit.
Yeah, this would be much better if I had like managed to pack different spells today, but you know, some of us got interrupted whilst they were sleeping. I might have something in here. One second. No, that doesn't do it. That doesn't. I can fix this, but not right now. But I can fix this.
Hang on a second, I just realised why my lighting is so bad, because some of my lights are not on. Be right back.
Yeah, so I can't fix this. You are diseased.
That's good to hear, Farewell.
No more than you usually are, but you will be. You'll be okay. I can fix this.
What was your check result as well?
I'll have.
Mine or somebody else's?
Your medical check, what was it?
My medical check was 25.
At 25, you know that left untreated, this will kill Eclipse and Aiden, but only over some days. It will take days for them to die of this disease, but you can see the quick onset of it. It's going to sap at their strength until they're dead.
So the one time I don't pack lesser restoration, and you guys go and get yourself fucking diseased.
I think the moral of the story is always pack lesser restoration.
Yeah, I think that's the moral of the story as well.
First, it's my fault that you guys kidnap a bloody cat, and now it's my fault that I'm not packing the one spell I've not need to use in 16 games.
Yes.
Yes.
You've got the feeling you just can't win.
You're
You're the
Let him
cleric.
die.
That's what you get.
The trials of party dad.
Nick. It's the problem of being the designated healer.
You've got days.
If the tank dies, it's your
Miss Green
fault.
herself
If
can
the
probably heal
DPS
them.
dies, it's your fault. Then it's your fault.
Look, just stay behind me. I'll look after you. Come on, we need to go. They are getting away from us, and the clock is not on our side.
Which
So
way
let's
do we
move.
go? Are we going north or south? Or
North.
up or down? Or...
Super.
Well,
I see stairs.
Yeah, that's what I
There's
saw as
stairs
well.
leading down.
And there looks to be a grate here, so let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so you're going to go north to start with, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let me just get it so the guys at home can see as well. And then push you guys over here as well. There we go. So you guys head on over to the north, and the room that you are in appears to be some sort of washroom. There we go. That's revealed.
Oh.
It's just a storeroom.
Oh,
Sad.
sorry. So that's not a sewer
On,
grate on the floor.
Hmm?
Well, that's not a sewer grate where I'm stood on top of.
No, that's a wash tub. However, you can see that below there's drains that do go down indeed into the sewers. The drains, as you can see from the bars there, are heavy set drains, and they are bolted to the floor.
Yeah.
You feel that you could perhaps kind of damage the grates to eventually get through, but you do see that it goes into some form of well below. Not really a well. A well kind of suggests that it's water you could drink. More a cistern, yeah? So it goes into a big pool of very putrescent water below, and you, just looking at the dim light that's going into it, you can't see any exit from there. You have a feeling that the only way to get through this way is to rip off one of these grates, jump into a cistern and then breathe underwater for a non-specified amount of time.
I
to
don't
get
think
in.
this is the way we need to
No.
go.
Glory's
What, you
already
guys-
left and gone the other way.
You guys can't breathe underwater?
No.
No, not everyone
No,
is like
farewell.
you, farewell.
No.
Oh, okay.
Which-
Fine.
Wasn't
What
that
was the
where
route to
all
the
the
south?
fire was?
Is there a wall there, or is there more room where
It looks to be
Glory is?
more room because it doesn't cut off the same way as the other places does.
Which
Yeah,
way?
I mean, can we see?
Which way are you talking about?
South.
Glory, yes.
Okay, going down to the south, and let's say I'm bringing the viewers with me. So yeah, that there was basically as far as you could see from where you were. So Glory is currently filtering through.
That's a dead end.
No, it's not. Right.
It's not.
She's filtering through barrels and bolts of cloth and other such things, and partially obscured by some crates. There does seem to be a corridor that goes on further, and turns to the from what you can see. It goes to the left, the east.
Guys, there's a path here.
Yay.
Seems sensible enough. Come on, Aiden.
I don't want to go through the boiling hot vent, that's for sure. Not unless we have to.
Okay. So I'm going to reveal a little bit more of this. Don't put your avatars on it so I can just show you. There's a trail that seems to be going across the floor. A trail of filth and sewage that's heading off to the east.
Looks like someone might have been dragged here.
Yeah, and they
Yeah,
said
it doesn't
they're
look
heading-
good.
If I remember rightly, they told us heading east is good.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go.
Yeah. Let's go.
Okay. Let me just.
Awen's out another
something.
10 or 15 feet ahead again.
Okay.
If you disease people, you head up the rear. I'll take the lead.
Okay.
Sure.
I wasn't on that got diseased.
So the trail goes on a little bit further and hangs a left. You can see that a lot of these chambers, especially this round area here, if I just ping it for you, you do notice that the round area is probably where a cistern was made. And as you look down, you notice that the slabs that are beneath your feet are slightly different, and you have a feeling that they're removable and that you could remove them and kind of get to the cistern underneath if you wished.
Traps.
Roll an investigation check then.
God.
Traps. On an 8, I see no traps. Everything's fine, guys. Let's go.
Okay.
God.
Everything is absolutely fine, and why wouldn't it? This is not a dungeon. This is a set of service tunnels. Okay.
Fuck you. This is not a dungeon.
So
Here,
I would like
Simon,
everybody to. Oh, go on.
I was going to say, so here, where I'm pinging,
Mm-hmm.
this is removable, the flooring.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see any handholds to be able to pick them up.
I have a crowbar.
You have a crowbar.
I do
Okay.
have a crowbar.
I would like everybody to roll me a d20, but farewell, I'll let you roll with advantage on something you have no idea what it is.
Okie dokie. Is it just a straight up D20, nothing added to it?
Nothing added.
Simon.
Nothing added.
Simon.
Mm-hmm.
Natural 20.
Okay.
I do like the lucky trait of halflings, because I got a 1, but then I got a 14.
Yeah.
I rolled a 14 as well.
Okay. Eclipse?
12.
Okay, and Glory.
What was it we rolled again? Because I
Just a
forgot that.
D20.
Just a D20.
Oh yeah, 6.
6.
Oh
Okay.
god.
Oh god.
That was why I got a little bit confused. Like, could I add anything, please?
No.
Please.
Just
Pretty please.
okay. So no, that's good to know. Farewell. You wanted to play around with a crowbar. Give me a.
Come on. Say strength. Let my big strong boy out.
It's actually Dex with disadvantage.
Aww. It's devastating.
You're
Let's
neither
hope
a burglar or a sewer worker. You have no proficiency here.
Do you want me to help you?
He's a big strong boy.
Do you want...
No, the thing is, I've already said that I'm doing it, and like I haven't told any of you. You just seen him stride forward. So with disadvantage, that's a 10.
Okay. What's your strength score?
16.
Okay. So in this case, the strength score is all you need to lift the slab. It's not a roll. It's just are you strong enough to lift it up? And you absolutely are. The Dex was trying to get your crowbar in such a way that you'll be able to get one of the slabs up. So you lever up one of the slabs, and you realise that this entire round area here, okay, is on a metal grid, and you've lifted out, much like a polystyrene ceiling tile. You have managed to lift out the slab. And underneath, there was a general whooshing sound around you because you're close to the sewers. But the second that you lift that slab up, there's a very loud whooshing noise, and you look below you, and kind of get a moment of vertigo as plunging into darkness, at least 60 foot down, there is a tunnel directly below you, 20 foot wide, so a 20-foot diameter circular tunnel directly below you that goes into, you can just about make a kind of lightish froth of water at the bottom, and it's churning. From the sides of this tunnel, at around about 20 foot down and then below, there are various inlets, just pummels of water coming out about 5 foot into the tunnel and dropping below. Kind of a reverse fountain. You're looking at the kind of fountain inside the cylinder, and you're thinking, yeah, this isn't a way in either, because if I drop into here, I'd probably be fine, but the rest of my party would probably have trouble and may even drown.
Yeah, let's carry on. This is we're gonna have to work on you guys being able to breathe underwater. I mean, it's very inconvenient. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
So, yeah.
God, breathing in sewer water. Ugh.
It's just water.
With shit in it.
Yeah.
What, you don't have
Feces in it.
you don't have like protection from like poisons and disease?
Farewell. I think any experience you've had is the exception, not.
I'd like to point out that I do spend most of my time like elbow deep in corpses. It's not the weirdest thing that I've done.
Okay. So when I asked you guys to roll those mystery D20s, one of you got a natural 20, didn't you?
Yeah, me.
Okay. So, Aiden, as you guys all walk past, I know you haven't moved your characters yet, but I'll get you to in a sec. As you guys all walk past, Aiden, you notice that one of the workmen hasn't put one of the slabs back well, to the point where it doesn't quite sit properly on the grid. And you have a feeling that if somebody had stepped on it the wrong way, the slab would have just pivoted upright, potentially dropping the person into the 60-foot drop below. Kate, that lucky feat has just stopped you having a world of pain. So Aiden, you watch as Cora is about to step on that very spot where basically her leg would just go straight through, and then the rest of her potentially with it. And you watch as she actually stumbles, and she stumbles away from it instead of on top of it.
Oh my god.
You have a natural 20, so you just quickly walk up. You kind of go up to the slab, and you just press your foot on just the right part, and it slides perfectly into place, and there's a slight click, imperceptible by the others, and you just kind of test it with your foot for a second, and you go, yep, that's solid. That'll be solid for years now. And, you know, with a little bit of a silent curse to the worker that didn't put it back properly, you carry on.
Oh my god. Infrastructure in this place is awful.
It has been 0 days since I last
The Hocker brief there is just not going to be good.
Okay.
Wait, what about Glory?
It was. I think that we only needed a natural 1 to actually step on that.
Okay.
So we're all moving up.
I like to throw these little tensors in from time to time. You turn the corner, and there's a sight that immediately startles you. There's a let me just
someone having sex in the sewers.
No,
ew.
Not that disturbing.
Ew.
That would startle me. Ew. But yes, that would startle me.
It wouldn't startle Glory.
Oh, ew.
Depends.
So many diseases.
Glory would just be jealous, going,
Great!
Oh my god.
So we did take the long way round. We did take the long way around.
Okay, so you do notice, and yeah, as I'll show the people watching that yes, you did indeed take the long way around, but you didn't have to just find out what was up with those vents. Oh, Cora and Farewell, can you please move your characters back to where you were, and Eclipse as well. Okay, so you can see straight ahead down a corridor. However, you recognise that this is yet another round chamber, clearly over the top of a cistern, or a cistern-like structure. There's a city sewer grid, city sewer cover that looks like some sort of inspection hatch.
we can't see that it's round, just so you know.
Yeah, you can't see that it's round, that's right. And you only make an assumption that it's round because you haven't got into it yet. I would like, being that you placed your characters in that place, I would like Cora, Farewell, and Eclipse to make perception checks, but only those 3 characters.
12.
Okay.
21.
5. Got a 2 instead of a 1. Damn it! If it would only been a 1.
Okay.
I must remember to use my inspiration at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Can you use it now? Oh, I don't know if you want to use it now.
I don't know. No, maybe
It's
maybe
not
when we're
dramatic
fighting something
enough.
bad.
No, it's not dramatic enough.
Yeah.
Or it might kill us, but, you know. But wait, Five got a
Or
21,
both.
so we. Yeah.
Or both.
Okay. So this is what happens. Cora and Eclipse start forward, and the shadows to either side in this round chamber, because it's quite dark in this particular section, managed to obscure just some things that look like barrels. It's actually Farewell that notices that the barrels start to move.
Stop!
Okay.
They leap
Rats.
forward, and I'm going to go, rather than getting you guys to roll, I'm just going to go with the fact that Cora is the only one other than Farewell that's forward, so they're going to try to both leap on her. They're going to be using an ambush tactic, so they get to use their swarm tactic, even though there's two of them. However, Farewell managed to perceive them as they were performing their tactics, so I'm going to give Farewell initiative on these two. And then I'm going to use the initiative order that we had before.
Oh boy.
So there's no need to roll or anything. I'll run it all from here. So Farewell, two of them are coming up. What are you going to do?
Oh, shit.
Panic.
Shit. Yeah, again, I will use my free action.
Panic.
I will use my free action panic. Because, you know, it's always nice to have a free action. Question for you, DM.
Mm-hmm.
My racial ability, create water. I can create, I think it's 10 gallons of water.
You may indeed.
Can I create it in such a way that rather than rain, that it sort of just appears like a river and just sort of could push against them, or is that a bit beyond what the spell could do?
I believe you can. Let me just double check, but I'm pretty sure you can. I've seen a lot of people really use create water in interesting ways, up to and including flushing someone down a slope. You can create up to 10 gallons of clean water within range in an open container. Alternatively, the water falls as a rain in a 30-foot cube within range, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. Now, I know that the rule here, the rules as written, says in an open container, but the point is that up to 10
The
clean
room
water,
is an open container.
yes, technically, yeah. If we're going to go on strictly what is a container, a room is a container. The point is that it says that you can say, right, water appear in that mug or that bucket or that whatever. So it's at target. I would say if you want to choose a square, it will drop 10 gallons of water onto the that square. Rain is a 30-foot cube. I would say that it will flood and flush that 5-foot cube in a random direction.
Okay, I'd like to do it on the one on the right that's closest to Cora, please.
Righto. Okay. I'm going to give it. I think this is going to be a dex check to see whether or not it stumbles and falls. I'm not going to use its ability because this is just its footing. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so you dump water on this thing, and it sloshes. It's going to move. I'm still on reveal areas. Yeah, let me go and select. There you go. It's going to flush towards the pipe here, and end up around about here. It's also, I don't know if we've got a graphic that will represent it.
Prone.
It is also prone. Oh, there we go. That guy's prone. He's got arrows sticking out of his back, but that guy's prone.
Look at the arrow knee.
So
Hey, look, it's the Boromir icon.
Ooh, too soon, too soon.
It has been like 20 years.
Yeah.
Still real to me, damn it.
Sorry.
Yes. By the way, so I assume you know what the time is.
I do.
Okay.
Okay.
It's hammer time.
So one of the nice things about Roll20 is that you do get to just pause it where it is. So you wash it, it goes prone, and the two rats are going to, the one rat now is going to leap through the air and attack Cora. The other one has lost its ambush action.
Yeah.
And
the one thing I was going to ask is, would I have enough of a reaction to try and get in front of it?
you have a move action. I've let you have initiative in front of them, so it's not. I haven't just given you a action. I've given you a full round. So if you want to step in front of Cora, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
But I have hellish rebuke. I've not even tried it yet.
Rebuke is fun.
Oh, these halflings.
For those of you that are watching wonder why I'm so grey. If you look at the video of what my hair colour was at the start of these sessions to what it is now, it's night and fucking day.
Nick, I love you. I'm so sorry.
Stressing my poor, beautiful green boy out to the point.
I love that. No,
Right.
I'll take the bullet.
Let's-
Wait, I haven't used Hellish Rebuke yet.
Okay,
Last
guys.
time he
let's-
jumped into the middle of a fight, he went down.
True.
Let's wrap this up because, as was pointed out, it is indeed 11 o'clock. But we've got to a good part to start
11
next session.
is 12 and I need to wake up in 7 hours.
As the
You're probably
You're not getting
going
up.
to
You're
lunch,
staying.
Mark,
You're not
Lucia.
going to work.
You're not
Yeah.
I'm going to work. I have a hairdresser's appointment at 8.
that was the
Ah.
most glory
You
thing
can
I've
wait.
ever heard you say.
You
Right.
can reschedule your hairdresser's appointment.
Right, let's wrap this
Anyway,
up. Let's wrap this up.
that's the time.
So, as the surprise attack is foiled by Farewell, not only washing one of the rats into another space, making it go prone, but also because they were ambushing together, they were getting a swarm tactic with 2 rats instead of 3. He's taken one out of the equation, so now it's 1 rat attempting to attack, and the swarm tactic is no more. He also steps forward to take the other rat on face-to-face. It leaps forward, and not really caring whether it was Farewell or Cora, it leaps for Farewell, teeth and claws bared. You can see that the smear of filth, which started further up the corridor, ends at the sewer grate. You can also see that there seems to be, amongst the filth, the sewer filth, a certain amount of bits of flesh and bone. And you can only hope that it isn't a worker that was dragged down there.
What the Duke's done.
But as you start looking, you realise this isn't just one smear. This is a number of smears that all lead to this one sewer grate. We're going to freeze it there. The rat in midair, and more panic on Nick's poor green boy.
Panic.
His face contorted as he faces the prospect of being bitten himself. Okay. As of next week, the guys will hopefully just take down these 2 rats easily, open the sewer grate, and enter the sewers proper, with the hope of rescuing the son of Duke Ostermark. Thanks very much for watching, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.